Okay, I went to take the car for a ride. Again, I know my videos are random, but screw it. So I went to take the car for a ride and it started rubbing again. But the spacer, if you watched my last video, the spacer did stay where it was supposed to. But I need a 1/2-inch spacer. And I'm going to show you what I discovered. So, first let me show you this. You can see it's hitting right here. It's just barely hitting. I mean, I drove it about a 1/4 mile, but it was scraping, so I couldn't keep going. And it wasn't scraping when it was on the lift. But what I discovered is, let me grab my tape measure. So remember the front did come with disc brakes in this year. So this is like 1 7/8. Okay, this is the front. The rear, these are off of 79. I mean, when I had to buy a rotor, so I bought a 79 thinking it would fit. And it works fine with the snowflake rims, like I said before. But this is 1 1/2. That's the problem. So I got to take this off. I mean, I feel okay with a 1/4-inch spacer, but not a 1/2-inch spacer. And I mean, if I could just find this same disc with a 2-inch, I'd be fine. But I can't. I mean, I don't know how to find it, to be honest with you. So I was thinking I could take these, put these on the back, the front, put the front, but I can't because there's a hub assembly inside. So I only got one choice, or 2 choices. Find the right disc, if they exist, or put a 1-inch spacer. And so, I think I just said that. So I'm going to have to knock these out and find ones that are longer. And I think I'm going to try to find spacers that fit better. I mean, this just doesn't make me comfortable. I had to glue this to get it in the center. Somebody must make them. So that's where I am. So I'm going to pull these off. For anybody who hasn't pulled disc brakes off, it's pretty simple. Again, the front and the rear is the same. Just loosen this bolt here. There's a bolt right back here somewhere. Let's see. Well, there's another bolt right here. So it's right behind there. Just swing this out. And what you don't want to do is just hang it by its brake line. So hook it up, hook it onto something, so you're not putting all the weight on the hose. I mean, I could make a ring around here, or I could make a hook in there. So anyway. That's where I'm at. I'm going to have to pull those off. And the reason I pull this off is I was thinking, what the heck is the difference? That is the problem. So they would, one of the reasons they switched rims probably to the snowflake is because it had a bigger offset. But going back to this one, they had the bigger offset. But this has got the hub assembly inside. I pulled it off and looked inside. I was thinking I could just cut this off right here. But when I pull it inside, I forget, there's an inner bearing also back here. So there's no way I can get rid of all that stuff. And that's it. Thought I had it fixed. Thought I had the car done. Oh, then I'm leaking right here. I noticed that today. It's windshield wiper fluid. So I changed the pump. I'm reaching up in the air. So the connection on the bottom of that must be loose. So that's it. Okay, now let's see if I can remove these studs. Never done this before. As usual. I tried this hammer, didn't hardly do anything. And let me just say something else about this. So this glue thing that I used in the last video, I mean, it works, but it's kind of hokey. And this has to be centered, because if not, it'll act like a counterweight. Yeah, while I'm here, again, if you do a disc brake conversion, I'm just going to show you some things while I'm here. Again, I covered it way back, but here's the emergency brake cable. It goes right through the frame right there. There's a little bracket. It comes down. And then that's how it goes together. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. There's like a slot in here, kind of like I was showing on my emergency brake. Okay, it's loose. I don't have any battery wrenches. Anyway, I'm just going to loosen this one. And here you can see the emergency brake cable really good. Trying to pull the brakes out with it. Let's see. I'll leave it right there. That's it. I'll just show one more thing. So if you got these cars are old, and this rear end is rebuilt, but this is about the amount of play you should have. As I'm turning it sideways and then in and out, about the same. I mean, that's like a 1/16 or less. I think it's like a 32nd, or I don't know, it ain't much. Well, one last thing. I don't take anything for granted. So I bought this thing I think I got it at the Caterpillar store. I used to have a backhoe. So I don't take anything for granted. What are these threads? Well, I got this thing here. It's 7/16, 20. So that's all I need to know. 7/16, 20. I assume they measure them from the head, so I need 2 inch. 7/16, 20, 2 inch. I also have one metric. I do so many. The stupid cap flew off. I do so many different kinds of things that I need something that I can find out my bolts quick. Some of these bolts are starting to get a little bit of corrosion on them. don't mess around with that anymore. Yeah, I've had this since at least like 2008, I think. I've probably used it 1,000 times. The last thing I need is for this thing to be jammed up. A little bit of junk in that one. And this one. I'm just showing you how to order this stuff. So it's on 0. That flipped over. They're a little. They're rolled over, so that's 1.5 inch. So I needed studs that are 2-inch long. Again, trying to find these is pretty difficult. And then another thing they talk about is this part, and I can't remember the term they use. So it's a little bit over 7/16, it's not much. Okay, again, I just recording things as I solve them. So that's the, I'll show you this. This is I don't know, 27 bucks for 10 of these and this spacer, which I use to pull the studs on. But here's the part number for the, oh, that was called the knurl. This part right here is called the knurl. So there's 7/16 is 20. 0.487 knurl, 2 1/8 length. And just look around the back until it's tight. Some steel filings came out. I'm just wondering where the hell they came from. Damn it. There's threads over threads. Where did that come from? I don't know where that came from. I mean, that goes on fine. think it came out of here. I stripped it. Son of a bitch. These are just cheap ass frickin' threads. I mean, nothing's happening to these. That sucks. That one's screwed up. I think I said this, but this is Thursday the 9th, I think, of November. So I took all the shelves down because the parts are all gone up there. But I got all this wood here, that, and I still got some plywood up there. So I'm rearranging all my shelves because I haven't done it really since I've been here. So that shelf came down from the top. This one came from over there. These shelves, I'm going to cut them in half and make 8 shelves out of them. Because those metal ones I never did like. They're just junk. Get rid of those. So those will be 1 foot wide because there's a door here. And it sticks out. And then this one came down from up there. It had these Tupperwares for the old lady. And then the shelf that I took out of that space right there is the one I'm cutting down in half. That's my old generator from 20 years ago when I used to, compressor. It's got a leak that I can't find. And I don't want to take the time to do it right now. And then this is my junk pile. This is my, I got a mess. This is while I'm waiting for parts to put this back together. And I'll show you how I do it when I get the parts. Anyway, in my construction years, I never wore a mask. But this is how dirty it is, just from me cutting the steel. I don't want metal in my lungs, I decided, so I'm just taking more precautions. My hearing, my eyes, my nose, my lungs. Okay, it's Monday now, I think it's the 13th. Yeah, I know my videos are all over the place, but just think of it as entertainment. So, I cut up those shelves, those last pieces I had, and I built this. But now that's extra storage. I don't even need all that. There's all the scrap. Might appear to be loose, but I'm going to show you this, if I can do it. This one's got, the nuts that came with it have the concave, they'll center it up. So you don't want your studs to stick out further than this. If they do, then you have a problem and hit your wheel. So I put the old studs back on. Now I wanted to find, this is an inch. I don't want an inch, but I can't find one that's a ½ inch. Again, I could always change this later. I just don't want to give up on it. Well, the other thing is, when I bought this from Titan. It was like $59 for two for both sides. Titan wheel accessories. Well, I'll just show you this, just in case you're interested. Turn the viewfinder around, I can't see anything. There's the 100-5475-5475, which is the spacing, 7/16 B, whatever that means. So yeah, I just need two pieces. Yeah. So, do I have any switch covers? I mean, that'll do. What do I care? So. I don't like these metal covers. You get shocked. Oh yeah, wire. I need some wire. Anyway, I got enough yellow. I got more. This is 20 amp. The white's 15. I got enough. Got wire nuts. So all I need is. I'm just thinking, will that be a pain in the ass? I'll probably put a plug over here. A plug. Another box. I'll do that tomorrow. You know, there's two reasons I do this stuff. One, I want more room. I mean, I hate messes. And if you have to, and I like to organize too. Like my plumbing and electrical stuff's right here, my wood tools are over there, my mechanic tools are in the middle, my paint's over there. These are old boxes, old files. I got my generator. So here again, it's just one more place that I can stop. Oh, and the other second reason is I got to keep busy. I'm getting old. It hurts. I'm sore right now. But the less you do, and if you don't do anything, your muscles just tighten up. So we got the plug. We've got a light, a switch, and or those studs. And that'll keep us busy for some more days. Studs for the Trans Am. I kind of get a kick out of this. Every time I do something, I get a mess. But this time I was doing wood, and the car, and upstairs, and demolition. So now I got a truck full of stuff. That'll go in the dump. All these sawhorses I got to put away. This whole table's full. That's extra wood from upstairs. There's some extra stuff that was over there. So yeah, these gas cans will go back over there. I was thinking, what am I putting there? This stuff, so far. And then over here, look, I got a leak. So I got something else to do. Let's see, that's right under, I still think it has something to do with the wiper motor. Oh, there's a stud I didn't pick up. I better pick that up. And then this whole mess. So I guess when I finish that over there, I'll stop, put everything up, because then I gotta wait for the studs to show up. I took that wiper motor out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out and plug the end, or pull the hose, yeah, take the motor out, plug it, and see if the drip goes away. I mean, maybe it's, I hope it's not the freaking water pump. I don't think so, because that's right here. I'm going to look straight up. Right above there is the washer bottle, above the steering. was dropping here and then running that way, I think. It's a weird leak because I don't see it. Anyway, there's the car. Oh, shoot, there's a lot of work in this car. And then I got to clean up over here too. And over here. And some over there. Oh yeah, just to show you. So I got a work table over here. You know, the car's here. The door's over there. I got a table here. It's kind of a table here. My sister gave me that mechanics box. I got a table over there. And then I'll have that little table over there. If not, whenever you need a table, oh, then I got this rolling table. This thing I really love. Yeah, I guess I can show this. So again, I just connected the plug. I got this connected ground too. cheap. Okay, well, it's done. That's as much time as I want to put into it. It's all free, except for labor. I got my plug. I just scabbed this light together out of parts. Just taped it together. And I just have a cord when I'm working in this area. I was thinking this would be a good place for my laptop because I put a cover in it if I ever need it. I could even put doors on here if I wanted to. But I don't bring it down here that often. Anyway, now I got a little spot to work. Okay, back to the Trans Am. These are the Dorman studs that I bought. They're 2 1/8. They're too long. I figured out the right length to cut them. I got all kinds of masks and stuff on. Yeah, one thing I learned, when you pull on new studs, make sure you have a grade 8 nut. These are grade 8. If not, those lug nuts are so soft, or at least the ones I had, they just strip. Hot. And I'm just putting these on one at a time. Just because. One more to go. Now I'll show you what I'm going through, because some of these threads are screwed up. I got 6 of them. This one's good. It just happens to be when I pull this up tight, it's the right height. 1 9/16. Little strip. It's not bad, it's just tight. I mean 7/16, 20 thread. That's good. So like I said, I got grade 8 nuts now. I'm going to pull on. That was a tight one. I don't think I need to go a little tighter. These knurls are tighter than the factory. And I can't find any good ones. But I just keep tightening it until it stops turning. And then check. But these grade 8 bolts are holding up. I got one more to go. I gotta cut one more. I screwed up. I gotta find one more good one out of that mess. Got a few tight spots. Yeah, I had to take a break. That's one of the reasons I built all those shelves. I just had to get away from this. Damn it. grade 8 washers too. Stop spinning. Good. I think I need the car apart. It's a bitch when they're not turned this way. For me, anyway. Okay. What I found out in my life, when something doesn't go together easy, there's a reason. I forgot to put the calipers back on. Yeah, I was putting these brakes back on, and I noticed this. I'm just going to show you. You see these two little stubs here? They were sticking out past this. This is like an anti-rattle plate. They were sticking out past this. So that's what was really putting the pressure on the caliper, which it should be this. Oops, this. So I just ground them down. If I remember right, they were sticking way up when I first got it. But now that right now they're flush, and it's good. So this is to keep this thing from moving out of here. And then I'll put a bunch of brake grease. I can't think what it's called right now on the back and this side. So I noticed all four. There's one on each pad. The other thing is the reason I couldn't get the calipers on real easy, because I got the emergency brake tightened. It's just enough. I mean, I don't understand why, but there's just enough drag. I mean, it's okay when I'm driving around, but I just got to loosen it a little bit, if that makes sense. It doesn't drag, but it pulled in the brakes. Yeah, I spent 2 hours getting these calipers back on. I'm not sure why, but I think I showed this earlier. This is how the disc brake cable looks. So when you step on the pedal, it pulls this spring to get this. So this cable is like a drum brake. It's slipped into a slot. It can't pull back out. And to get this cable in, then you got to push the spring in, which is a real bitch. Get it up into these slots here, and then you get the cable in. Why it's still loose, still like that. You got to have slack, you know, under the car. So on the driver's side, it's on the bottom. I mean, the passenger side, it's on the bottom. I think the driver's side is on the top. But the problem I had is I couldn't expand the brakes. So what finally happened is kind of hard to explain. There's a nut, there's an arm right here with a nut. So if you take it apart, mark it or something, but I had to take that nut off, take this arm off, loosen that up, and then I finally got enough pressure release, and then I put this back on. Again, if you run into it, that's what I had to do. 2 hours. I mean, I did it before, I forgot how I did it. So maybe that'll help somebody if you do a disc brake conversion. But this is a 79, so if you're working on a 79, it should be the same thing. 79 car. It was a bitch, but now I remember how to do it. So now I gotta go put the driver's side on and think about something else. And then I had to let pressure out of this. I had to take the whole caliper off. The main line, and I bled it. And I finally got it back on. Well, I haven't bled it yet. I mean, I bled it to get stuff out of there. Look at that mess. Nothing's easy. Nothing is easy. Okay, I'm pulling this side apart too. Only because the emergency brake is just making it a bitch to get in. So this cable that goes through this bracket, let's see if I can get that simple. Nothing simple. Now this thing's locked up. What the hell? It's always something. Of course, these aren't channel lock. Damn it. There we go. I can grab this thing just right. There's two tangs. without dropping the whole. Okay. So again, that went on the driver's side, it goes through here. Looks like that. Okay, I'm going to try to explain these brakes. Well, this caliper is in pretty far. The other one was way out. Why? I don't know. Here's this arm. Maybe I'll take that apart. It just doesn't seem. And what is this stuff in here? It's like grease. I definitely didn't put that in there. I didn't use any white grease. I don't know what it is. But anyway, let's talk about the brakes. So, yeah, see, I just pushed it out by doing that. See it moving out? The problem is it won't go back in. It won't go back in. So, I'm going to have to take it apart. So, let's see. I got a cart and a table. Let me get a wrench. So I can't push this back in. That was my problem. I must have played with that like I just did, and now I can't get the brakes in. So they sell a special, there's a good channel, Self-Made Auto, on YouTube. That guy is really good. But the way I've always done it, we'll try it. I couldn't do this in the car. Maybe I can do it out of the car. Again, whatever kind of clamp you got, just awkward. It's not going in. I'm not sure why. That's what I took 2 hours to figure out why I wouldn't go in. So if you take apart your disc brakes, don't mess with that lever. I see some green marks in there, but I'm gonna ignore them. This one's got a lock nut on it. The other one didn't. Damn it! It's just an awkward thing to work on. tighter one than the other one. It's almost like a press fit. But I gotta take it off. Okay. So then you're gonna be wondering, where does this thing go? How does this go on? I'll talk about that later. So it's like a hard rubber washer, a white seal. But now, if I turn this in, then I can put a little piston back. I think. Let's try it. I need to get, you see that ring right there? I need to get to here. You'll see why in a minute. Now it's going in. No problem. So I need to get, this thing's gonna go here. So I need to get at least a little bit more. Clamp fell off. That'll make getting the brakes going easy. Now when you turn this, one way, when you turn it one way, it tightens the brakes. So, here's that lever. In other words, you step on the brakes, emergency brakes. See, now it's way in. So I'm going to put this on later. But I am going to put the pieces on here so I don't lose track of them. So I can't remember which way it goes right now. I think it goes, like that. Because the spring goes in here. Only seems to fit on one way. Right about. Ah, I just did it again. So this part here definitely goes, there's this side and this side. This part definitely goes facing on. Okay, that's on. Came off again. Damn it. My hands. Try this one more time. Remember, this goes in. Spring sits in here. I'm trying to fit this up to that nut. Okay, well I don't want to lose it again, so I'll put the nut on where to go. Every time I do that, I'm pumping it out. That's the mistake I kept making. I can't do this now. It's freaking complicated. I mean, I guess maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. Why do they do that? It's better to put this on after you got after the brakes are in the car, if that makes any sense. So now I gotta turn this in. I had this place all cleaned up this morning, or almost. Turn it in a little bit, because out is putting the brake on. Not strong enough to do it by my hand. Never worked on such difficult brakes. Get it put in the same spot. Right there. So I guess really don't mess with this right now. Okay, so the brakes, I'm just going to show you how they go on. So there's two different brakes. There's this one. And there's this one. This one's got a fixed plate on it. And when we put it, I was talking about those earlier, when you put it in here, I'm going to clean these up off camera. That fits in there. Those little nuts that I'm talking about, those little stubs don't hit on this side. So you're okay on this side. But when you go to this side, if you don't take these off, let's see if I have this right. I mean, maybe they're supposed to go into these slots, but I don't know how to do that. I mean, how do you, this thing would have to be turned just right. I don't think that, I don't know what, so I don't think that's right. So you put this on here. So I guess what I'm saying, forget what I just said about these holes. I mean, I think that was the design intent. But again, these are remanufactured, who knows? But if you leave these on here, they're hitting the piston. Unless they're right in those holes, which you have to be lined up with the right thing, but you saw what happens, it spins. So if it spins, what's going to happen to these? It'll lock it up. So this one, at least my brakes, 79, I mean 79 calipers. It's gonna go like this. Now I gotta grind, I ground that one off the first time, but this one's sticking up a little bit. So I'm just gonna grind that down. And then what I do is I put parts lubricant. So I'm gonna clean these up, but I'm gonna put lubricant on any place that's in contact. So here you can see the wear marks. Here. Let's put it on there. Trying to get this right. So here. Here. Because it's hitting. When your brakes are moving, you want to try to get rid of any rattles or squeaks, and then here. Those are the points of contact. So here. It's the same on all brakes. Wherever they're contacting. Here. And on this one, I'm going to put lubricant here under this plate, which will help hold it. And then on this side, so again, if you put this on here, your points of contact on this one are, and maybe here, which is going to fit into the, I don't know what you call it, the backing plate. But anyway, in this ring, where is it? I hope I don't lose it. Oh, it's around here somewhere. Just touching it. It sucks getting old and can't see anything. I don't know where the spring went, but it couldn't have gone too far. Where the heck did it go? Could be right in front of me, I just don't see it. Get some of this stuff out of here. I need this and this and this and this and this And then, I don't know where it went. I'll find it. I'm looking around on the floor. Maybe it's right in front of me and I don't see it. Son of a bitch. What did I do with it? Stuff out of my way. I don't know, but like I said, it couldn't have gone too far. Oh, I just kicked it. I kicked it, but I don't see it. There it is. I hate when that happens. I didn't hear it drop. So I'm just going to show you this one more part. And this is going to go on here like this. So if it's not holding, you can bend it a little bit, like this. But it goes on here like that. And then, again, this is the brake with this piece that's going to go there, but anyway. Just going to show you how this goes. That goes like that. So don't lose that. Don't lose that, don't lose that. I'm pretty sure this is that. I'm not a mechanic, but I can see I got metal sticking up here too. I don't know how that happened. So I'm gonna fix that. Okay, don't lose the spring. And take this over. Take this over and this over. And grind that down. Oh, why that's sticking up like that? So I'm going to grind that down, but I'm going to clean it up first. If not, any filings are going to stick to this lubricant. Clean it afterwards, and then make sure before you put your brakes back on, clean these. Doing it. I'm going to do it again. So, you know what, I'm just going to show one more thing and then I'll put it back together. I don't know if I'll show more, but there it is. I don't know if you can see it, but it's sticking up. Both of them. And I can see that I grounded them down when I first put them on. But I didn't do enough. And I don't think I touched this one, because I didn't paint it black. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be a long video. Well, I ground it down. Now it's flush. It's not going to be pushing against this piston. And again, this piston, you saw it turns. That's the way the emergency brake works. Which would just grind a groove into that. I would have put gloves on, but I don't spend all day long on irritants like this. But if I get it on my glove, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to get all over the place. Still a little gummy. Actually, I think there's a coating on here of some type. The other one I pulled off was rusted in some spots. So I wire brushed the rust off. Filthy. Clean this one more time. I only really care about this. So where did we say it was hitting? It's rubbing. No, we're doing this for the plate. Keep it from rusting also. On the piston. So I'm just going to put this together. For me, it's easier for this particular brake to put it together here and then put it on. So let's see, where's that ring? No. Just like that. I don't want it to happen. It slipped off. Stupid design. Why is one of them welded on and one not? A little bit thicker. Like glue. See, the spring is not staying on. It's making my job more difficult. I was fighting this on the car. It was a bitch trying to do this because the emergency brake was hooked, this cable was hooked up. It's wanting to twist it. This stuff's slipping out. We're gonna clean this one. I thought I was going to do this in a half hour. I think I'm working on 3 hours now. Yeah, see, this plate's welded on. Why did they do it to the other one? So I'm going to put, remember it's going to hit here and here, but I'm not exactly sure where that is, so I'm just going to put plenty. But I'm going to cover the whole thing, I don't want it to rust. And then I said here. I want it to slide easy also. Let's see, and here. Now these didn't come with, this one didn't come with a clip. Is it supposed to be there? I don't know. It didn't come with it. So now I need to get pistons. Let me go find the, I mean not the pistons, the pins. Okay, I'm just going to put this on. See, it's just a bad design. Make sure that clip stays in there, or that spring. What happened? There we go. Let me look down in here and make sure my clip is in. I don't have much room with this camera. I look right down in here though. There's tibbles in the way. That spring popped out off the brake. Off the brake pad. I need some long needle nose pliers. It's just a bad design. That's all I got to say. Hopefully I can grab it. Yeah, got it. I'll show what I was looking at. If I can. You see those springs down there? The top one had popped off. It wasn't even holding it. But you can see, even I expanded the brakes and they're still pretty damn tight. So the way I'm going to hold this here, before I do anything else, I don't want anything to pop loose. Because I've done a lot of brakes. This one is the most difficult. I'm going to push on the brake pedal. Let's see, will that do any good? Not yet. It won't do any good yet because I got to hook up the banjo bolt. So I'm going to hook up the banjo bolt push on the brakes, get them tight, then I'll hook up the emergency and put the pins through. Well, I better put the pins through right now. I like this purple stuff because you can see it. I left this off. That was a mistake. It goes up in here. It popped off. It was on the back of the caliper right there. Get it, Tam. This one first. Maybe there's a problem. I'm not sure what's going on. What did I do wrong here? Something's wrong. Oh, that sleeve that I just put through, this one here on the back side is sticking out. I gotta push it back a hair. It's just difficult brakes. Come on. Doesn't want to move. But so you want to do a disc brake conversion. Socket wrench wasn't engaged. Just gonna tighten these up. I'm gonna torque them with my strength. I've never had any fall off. Click, click. Click, click. You know, I'm gonna put this emergency brake bracket on best I can. So, washer, a white nylon washer, a hard plastic washer, remember this wants to face towards the spring. Spring's gonna be here, so that's gonna go on like that, I believe. I believe that's right. If not, I'll take it off. I don't want to lose I don't want it to go too far. It's on. I think. Yeah. This nut will pull it out. Probably should get a better wrench. Problem is some of the stuff is metric. I don't have that many metric tools. Come on, I must have more than this. This is ridiculous. Again, I don't plan any videos, so just do whatever comes up. Okay, when I pull it this way, that's the emergency brake pulling. So it's working. That's a stop. So that's backed off. That's good. It really, this lever piece, it only seems to go on in one location. Man, I wish I have to buy some metric tools. I think I have a socket wrench. And then I'll show you how to hook the spring up. Too tight. So if there is such a thing as too tight. That's kind of stupid. I think that's good. Okay, now I'm going to push the cable through. Put the spring on, which is the hardest thing, especially in this limited space. Push the cable all the way back. These are those two grooves I was talking about. You see, there's just no room there. The camera's in the way. Hopefully that's still on. See, how do I do the other one? Can't remember. Just no room right there. I had room on the other side. That's how it goes. Push the cable through. I'll reach back behind the camera. Looking for a tool. Feed it through the spring. Reach back behind the camera. There we go. And this one's going to be a bitch to hook up because this plate's right in the way. How did I do it before? Trying to get where I can. How did I do that before? Oh, shoot, almost had it. Can't get my hands in there. Looking for some more tools there. How did I get that before? I'm loosening the brake cable, but I don't think that's going to do it. I got a long pliers. Dang it. Got it. Pull the cable back. That's how you do it. I gotta retighten this cable here because I just dropped one of the nuts. No blood. Might pop that cable in. There's another nut on so I don't lose it. It actually feels tight right there. I'm just going to leave it. The way to test it, make it a little bit tighter. The way to test it is push your emergency cable while you're in the floor. Looking for a small crescent wrench. I thought I was going to put the tires on today. That's what this is all about, getting the damn wheels on. Too tight. Well, I'm good for now. Tighten this case. I don't want to forget. In my next life, I'm going to buy some nice tools. That's it. So it started out that I was going to put the wheels on, but I forgot I didn't have the calipers on, and then I had a heck of a time putting them on. Then I had to take them all the way apart. Now I got to bleed it, but I got a slick way to bleed it with air. What I can do it by myself. Tomorrow I'll put the rims on. Well, today's Friday. I might not do it till Monday. Again, there's no real rush for me to do this stuff because I'm retired. So it's like I could do. I mean, what do you guys do if you're working when your time off? You sit around with TV, or some guys work on their cars. That's what I'm doing. I'm just keeping busy. Sometimes I want to get it done, but that's no good. Just whenever you feel like doing it, it's like I can always work on this car. So I got the shop all cleaned up. I don't know where I left off. So there was no shells here because I had a bunch of Trans Am hoods there. So that big one came from, I already said this 10 times, but the big one came from over there. And I dragged it over here. The little one came from up there. Those are 2-foot deep shells. They just cut a piece of plywood in half. That was the metal ones. So I can cut those up. I think I showed that. Now those are 1-foot shells. That one there came from up there. Then that one over there came from, let's see, where did that come from? No, now, see, I already forgot. There was shells there, and there were shells here. The same length here, in between those posts. So the one that was in between the posts is that big one. The other one I cut up in pieces and made, and they were 2-foot, so these are now 1 foot and 1 foot deep. And then I built that little thing over there, and I haven't spent any money. Well, this is what I decided to do with the light. And then I guess that's it. So now I gotta stop. I want to clean this up. Let's see, I hooked up the brake line. Yeah, the brake lines are all hooked up. I'm going to clean it up tonight anyway. I just spray purple powder or whatever it's called. Purple power. Let me do that. I trimmed I was walking in it, which makes it twice as much work. I don't like a filthy floor. I mean, I don't mind it dirty, I just don't like grease all over the place. It's not that much more work to clean it. It's not fun, but discipline. You gotta discipline yourself. Bleed the brakes yourself with this. I'll show you how it works. You can see that's the rear brakes, because that's the one that's low. One more thing, I want to check this if my battery is getting drained. It should be getting drained. But it's probably been 3 weeks. So let's check it. Yeah, it's still good. It's not draining. Okay, well I got the heater in the background as usual. It's about 40 on, 48. So I don't have a GoPro, so I can't put the camera right down in there. But basically, I'm gonna hook this up to here. I like to keep my cart near me. And hopefully you can hang this on something like this. So I can't show you, but I got a brake bleeder valve. I'm just going to open it. Get everything ready. Or try to get everything ready. So it turns out this is the number metric 10. So I'm just going to break it loose with a socket wrench. Let me fix this. I got to put this light underneath my hat. Trying to keep my head warm. So I'm just going to put this over the bleeder, and I'm going to hold it down. So a little bit higher. Okay, it's open. Just holding that on there. Nothing's coming out. I don't know why. Let me open it a little bit further. Here it comes. Watch the tube. You can see it through the bubbles coming through. I don't want the reservoir to go dry. I really should have bled the other one first, because that's the furthest away from the master cylinder. Okay, I'm going to show you what happened. Even though I only added a little bit of fluid, when I sucked it out, and I hardly got any in the bottom of that tank, of that vacuum tank, this thing went dry. So now I gotta, I mean, now it's worse off than it was when I started. So I can't do it that much, I gotta keep checking it. So basically I gotta start all over again. Okay, I'm back on the passenger side. There's one more thing I want to say about using this air thing. You get fitted down in here. It's probably a good practice to, before you open the valve, the bleed valve, is to put pressure on it. Start sucking air first, because air can get sucked in around the threads, if you know what I'm saying, once you loosen it. So this time I'm going to do it different. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put this end of the wrench on. That way it doesn't fall off. I'm putting the rubber piece on the nipple of the brake valve. Now I'm going to start pressurizing this now before I loosen it. You'll know it's loosened when it comes up. You can also hear it sounds different. I don't see any bubbles at all. I'm going to close it. By the way, I went and checked the pedal. I pushed it. Felt good. I can see that this time it's perfect. I'm just going to tighten this down. Side is good. Again, I don't want to make a mess. I'll let this stuff drain down into the bottle. Still going to keep my thumb on it. What I am going to do off camera is since I took this all apart, and again the last video to me is last Friday, but I guess it's part of this video. I'm going to make sure these banjo bolts, which is the line going to the caliper, are tight. I mean, I'm sure they are, but that's it. Also, you can see all this purple lubricant I put on there. What I like about the purple is you can see it. So, that's it. That's how you do it with this tool. And I'll tell you how much foot. And by the way, when I went back over to the driver's side, the reservoir, picture this in your mind, the brake reservoir had that much in it. So I sucked through that much. Yeah, I just wanted to show about this bottle that I said I couldn't remember how it worked. It's because I was working on newer cars, so you take this off. This is a 209 Escape. And you get the right size fitting. There's a bunch of different sizes, and then you just get, I can only do this with one hand, let's see. You can adjust this up or down, and you open this valve, and that way you'll never go, as long as you get this down where it's to the level that is below that nozzle, it'll never go dry. That's what I'm trying to say. But it just won't work on these older cars. And plus this reservoir is straight or level. But it also has two front and rear reservoir. You can see that. And by the way, these, if you go back to my last video, these are longer than the other ones. You can get these, you can grab these with your hand. I would suggest you use these longer ones. Tighten the driver's side. This whole thing has took like 3 weeks to solve this. Because you can't just go down and buy parts like you used to. Okay, double check. I got an extra quarter turn out of that last one. So here's how it looks. I'm gonna take the camera off. Remember, I got a 1-inch spacer in here because I couldn't find any other way to do it. So if you look right down, you can see that there is a spacer. But if you were to, I bet if you didn't know it, so now we're looking, it's in about, what do you say, 2-3 inches? The fronts are three or four. Anyway, that's my solution. Unless I want to go back to drum brakes, or I can find a rotor that, I'm sure somebody makes a rotor, but they don't, it's like the information is top secret because they don't want you to use a rotor off another car because they'll be liable. That's what I basically found out. Yeah, heater's going as usual. I'm just getting sidetracked a little bit. The mirror on my passenger door is missing, broken. So I went over this before. I bought one from Classic Industries. It's supposed to fit this car. I had it glued on and it fell off. But the problem was, let's see if I can show this in case you're ordering mirrors. This one fits right into that plastic. This one is bigger. So it never did fit. That's when I was building the shelves, I was using this compressor and it was leaking. But I couldn't find out where. I think it's, neither of these dials work. This is my backup portable compressor. This will run anything. I used to use this at work 25 years ago. Okay, let's fill it with air. You can hear the leak. Leaking right out of the back of this. Right there. All right. If that's a threaded fitting, I might be able to fix it. Let me just turn it off. I think we'll see if there's any water in this thing. I don't think I've drank it in 20 years. Not rusted. I guess while I'm looking at it, I should see if there's any oil in it. Yeah, it's dirty. It could use a change. It's not that bad. I've seen worse. Let's see. I didn't check the level. I don't even see a level mark on here. Yeah, there it is right there. Just a hair low. Anyway, let me see if I can get this thing off of here. I was going to take the car for a test drive, but I just remembered I wanted to check this. I think this thing comes off. Of course, it's got all these other hoses hooked to it. Let me see here. I'm trying to think, what do I do? I know. Let's see if I can get this off. That's where it's leaking, right behind that. So I put some Teflon tape on there. My thread seal is all petrified. bend back down. I think if I just put some water in here, it'll come back to life. Get these threads started. Can't get one hand in it. Let me see, maybe that'll do it. There. I'm not saying it'll fix it, but it's worth a try. Well, I had to struggle, but it's not leaking. But the gauges are dead. I've never seen gauges that are dead before, but I don't really need them, I guess. Harper ride, but I just got sidetracked again. Oh, and then what happened is, yesterday in this video earlier, when I was saying, look, the spring popped off behind the that held the brake pad on. When I looked at when I saw the video, it looked like the spring was just barely on by a hair. So I pulled the wheel back off and checked it, and it was fine. So then I decided to go around and tighten all the bolts, just to check that. But there is another thing that came up that is going to be a future video. The motor, the window motor in that door does not work. So I got to pull that door apart. And then the heater, when I took it for that quarter-mile drive when it was rubbing, I turned the heater on and it didn't work. Maybe I didn't have the fan on, I don't know, or the fan came unplugged, or the fuse is bad. But so I got to fix the door motor and the fuse. I mean the door motor and the fan or the heater and this leak that stopped leaking. I'm not sure what that is. I mean, it could be the water pump. Brand new, you know. Just gonna throw this in. As I mentioned earlier, I had bought a replacement piece of glass mirror for the Trans Am. But so this is aside from the This is from the driver's side. The mirror I ordered is bigger than that. But after checking all this out and figuring it out, the side on the driver's side, again, this won't matter unless you run into this problem. From right about there to right about like here, about, I don't know, 4.5, about 5. So I guess the point I'm making is they're different on the passenger side from the driver's side, and you can get bogus glass that doesn't fit at all. But if you got what I got, I just went down and checked. This is the one. It should say, I mean, again, I never saw a new car, but so it's going to say objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, but the size is right here. 5 5/16, 2 3/16, 5 3/16. So I can't measure this one because this is different size. So the path, basically, to get it down to a nutshell, the driver's side is smaller than the passenger side. And the one I got off Classic Industries, which is supposed to be, I don't know, 80 or 70 to 81 or something like that, is just plain wrong. So anyway, that's what you need to look. This is what you need to watch out for. But again, I would say, learning what I've learned, measure your mirror. Here and here, here and here, here and here. Then try to find them where they have the sizes. Most of them don't even have sizes. Anyway, I'm going to order this. I just thought I'd throw it in. Okay, I'm going to add this in here too. I got to replace the motor, the window motor on my driver's door. And I did it before, but I couldn't remember. And I have a different door. But just watch this video. This tells you where to drill holes to get easy access. You cannot reach inside this over here where the mouse is to loosen these bolts unless you take the whole regulator out, the way I remember it. So just watch this video, and this is right. So you notice there's 2 rivets here, one here, and then there's 2 up above that hold the regulator in. So he's gonna 1 3/4, 1 3/4, or half, then 2 1/4 down, 2 1/4 down, and then 4 1/4 down for your third hole. So 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, center, 4 1/4. So there's 1, 2, 3. You can see the door is at a slant. So just watch this. Because it wasn't, I went back and looked at my video. I had a picture, but I couldn't even read it.
And you split them in half. It's about 1 3/4 right down in the middle. And then you measure down from that rivet down 2 1/4 inches, mark a spot. From that rivet straight down 2 1/4 inches, mark a spot. And then you take the halfway mark there, and you come down from it 4 1/4 and mark a spot. Those are the places you're going to drill your holes. And I just set those lines up by matching up with those rivets up top. So those are about where the holes go that we're...
So if you go back to one of my videos, I did that. It worked. Let's see, what else am I going to say? I believe this is the driver's door, but I don't think it matters. The only thing that matters is when you're trying to order your window, your motors. Let me push escape. Which motor is right? See, like this ad here, it doesn't say what motor it is. It just says contact us. But I believe that this is the passenger's. Let me think about this. This is the passenger motor, I'm pretty sure. Because here's the 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. So if you figure your hinge is over here, this is on the hinge side. So if you were to put this on the passenger side, if you can visualize that in your mind, take this over to the passenger side. This is the passenger. So that's it. I think I'm gonna order both motors. And there is a guy selling them, I just can't remember where it is. Anyway, so here's the 3 holes. Notice this one has a gear in it. Some of them don't have gears when you're ordering it. Be careful about all these years. I think, who knows if this is right? 67, 69, 74, that's Camaro. 67, 69, no, that might be right. But anyway, I'm going to have to see. I think this is the one I was looking at. Let's just click it. So here's 2 of them. So again, looking at it, to visualize this, remember the 2 holes are towards the top of the door, the bottom. So this is the driver's side. And then this is, again, you take it and flip it. This is the passenger side. I might just order 2 of them because the other one's kind of weak. But again, these are old doors. I mean, old technology. These windows are heavy. So they're never going to go up really fast. So just thought I'd throw this in. Yeah, but again, about the gears. Some come without gears, some come with gears, some don't. I don't think it matters. Usually the gears are good. This thing just pops out. Yeah, just one more thing. Again, if you started like I did way back in the beginning, you're trying to find all these parts. So if you find the part, again, this is what it's going to look like. But if you go down lower, you see more options. So there's 89, 89, 92, 89, 94. And then some of these had this pigtail, and I'm not sure why. Maybe that's for a Corvette or Camaro. But your stock wiring will plug right into these. Unless, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why they have this pigtail. You don't need it. Anyway, that's it. Okay, so I just took the car on the longest ride I've had. I went to the gas station about 5 miles. Then I went about 5 miles into town to ask the painter to fix some stuff. And let's see, what I noticed is the windshield wipers did not work at first. I don't know why, but then after the car warmed up, they worked. The temperature gauge doesn't work. The radio works, but which reminded me I haven't hooked up the antenna yet under the hood. I still got this power window power motor that I gotta fix. I ordered that. The temperature gauge, I still gotta screw around with it. I mean, it can only be 2 things. Well, 3 things. Bad sending unit, which I replaced. A bad gauge, or a bad wire. And I'm still trying to figure out how to check the wire, but I gotta pull apart the instrument panel. But I'm going to take the car to the painter on Monday. Somehow I screwed it up. I think I used wax and grease remover or something. I put on something. I think I was in a panic when I put silicone around the windows, and but he thinks he can buff it out, and then I put a ding right here. Hitting right here. So I'm going to put a pad on here from now on, so I don't ever do that again. Some kind of foam, just, you know, adhesive to it. Besides that, the car went great. It's got the hot rod sound. did I talk about the temperature? The temperature gauge doesn't work. So when I got to the gas station, I looked under the car to make sure it wasn't boiling over or anything. There was nothing. So then I went all the way to the shop, his paint shop, which was like 10 miles the opposite direction. Looked under the car, there was nothing. So then I drove it home. I got this laser temperature gauge. It says it's running at like 170. I mean, of course it's a cool day. I think it's about 50 out. Oh, and the heater. The fan works, but and the defroster's working, but I can't feel air blowing up. I don't know what that means. I guess it means that one of the ducts isn't opening, or I don't know. So that's where I am. But the getting back to the spacer, worked perfect, no problems. So I'm going to take it into the painter because I screwed it up. It's my responsibility, and I'm just going to say fix it. I mean, I don't want to pay for it. But all this work to not have this car perfect just is not. It's just stupid. And so that's where I'm at. Oh, and he said it could take up to a month, or whatever that means. I mean, it took a year to paint it, or 8 months. So he'll probably do it, you know, off and on, off and on. And that's where I'm at. So this is going to be, I don't know if I'm going to put this at the beginning of the video or the end of the video. I got 5 hours of video. I'm not sure how to post these. Again, I'm doing it because it's a history for me in the future, and some of the stuff might help people learn the lessons that I make, you know, the mistakes I made and the solutions I found. That's what it's all about. That's where I'm at. Thanks for watching.